Well, if this is not working properly, um, I don't know what to tell you. I have not streamed in so long. In fact, this is the first stream of 2026. And they changed the format of the internet, if that makes sense. Like the way that it's set up in the YouTube website to set up a stream, it's different. So I had to manage that. So let me do as always and let me tweet and whatever I do, and we can get going. Yeah. So yeah. Hello, Marcus. Marcus, you were on a heater last year. You had Christopher Bell winning Daytona. You missed that. But then you had him winning Atlanta. You got that. Coda, nailed that. Phoenix. You were at 75% right off the year, or right off the bat. And then it went a little bit downhill from you. After that, you only got one right the rest of the way. Used up all your luck at the beginning of the year. Best of luck to you this year. As David, hello. How are you doing? It's been a while. But yeah, first live stream in 2026. Exciting times. Yay. Okay. Hello. Did I frame this up right? Not close enough. But, all right. Here we go. First stream of 2026. YouTube decided to change up their little setup over here, so I have to adjust to that. I'm so excited. It's been so long. I gotta make sure everything's right. Okay, as always, we have our tabs to look at whatever we need to look at. We have, I think, everything pulled up. I got it up on my phone just in case there's any problems. And yeah. Happy birthday, David. Hope it's a good one. But okay, first order of business. As I said, we have our tabs. We'll go through all these. They will be explained in due time. Now this first one. If you have not gone on to the channel's poll, in fact, I will come over here and do it because I don't know what's going to happen over here. I will make it the most recent thing you can see, but our fantasy league, I want all of you to vote on what you want the fantasy league to be called this year. Last year, we had a really boring name. By we, I mean me. I put it there. And we called it the Nikolai P. Culp Official League. It was kind of a lame name. So this year, we got some league name. So this year, we got some recommendations from our members, from Mike and Jamie. Mike and Jamie contributed to this, and they gave us their preferred names, or some ideas, we'll call them ideas, of what to call our fantasy league this year, and these are the names that they came up with. There were a few more, but ultimately, I could only fit 4 in a poll. So, those names are Racing Only Fans League, as Jamie pointed out, ROFL, which stands for Rolling on the Floor Laughing in Internet's lingo. So kind of a funny, kind of a creative name there. If we were voting, that would be my vote. So you guys are doing great. Culpability Cult Picks was from Mike. I thought that was a really good one as well. Cup Only Open League was from Jamie. Cool. And then Mike, I don't know why I like this one so much, Mike, but Competition Yell at Lap 20. It just made me laugh really hard. So first order of business is to go over that. So if you have not voted yet, please go to it's the most recent post now. It should be, because whatever the retweet of YouTube is, I did that. So go to this channel, go to the post, and make sure to vote on our fantasy league name this year. This will be locked down. I think fantasy starts on the 10th. Yeah, it starts on the 10th. So it doesn't say it here. It just remembered me. It reminded me. But Yeah, right now we have 28 people, even though it says we only have 26. So I guess a couple of people are inactive. But yeah, I will, in fact, if you want to join the league, Sunday, the beginning of the stream is channel housekeeping. Sunday will be the full season preview and predictions where I pick all 16 chase drivers. I pick my champion. I make some bold predictions, which, by the way, you guys will be making bold predictions too. We will get into that later at some point in the stream. But I did want to tell you about fantasy tonight. So Sunday will be the full season preview and predictions. By then, I want the league name down. I changed my mind. I want the league name down by then. So let me get the link for you guys to all join if you would like to. We will get a cooler, better league name here in about 3 days. And there. Hello. P&K, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, George, Marty, In Between the Lanes. Man, it's been so long since we've talked. Hello. How are you guys doing? It's been so long. I hope you guys are doing great. I know I didn't stream a lot. I really didn't stream at all outside of the lawsuit during the off season, so it's good to be back. It's good to see you all. It's good in between the lanes. Can't wait to talk about paint schemes with you this year. Marty, can't wait to talk about NASCAR with you. George, you too, P&K. Hopefully your soul does not get crushed at the end of the year this year. That is your ultimate goal. But anyways, okay. So if you would like to join the Fantasy League, it is now pinned in the messages, in the chat thingy. So, yeah. All right, today's agenda. So we already went over this. We can X out of this. Everyone go vote. If you haven't voted, everyone go and vote on the Fantasy League name. Once again, we will be determining that Sunday morning. Jamie, welcome. Jamie, look at that. Jamie, your name or your league name recommendation is winning. Yes. Okay. I was going to say something, but I'm going to wait a little bit to say that. Micah, hello. Denver, what's up? It's been so long. Some of these names I have not seen since last year. Ha ha ha. Anyways, okay. So, as always, we have our tabs up here. Each of them will be explained in due time. Let's get to the clash before I get any more sidetracked. We are 10 minutes into this, 8 minutes into this thing, and I have already been all over the place talking about Sunday's video, talking about our fantasy league, talking about paint schemes. We haven't really got to that yet. But before we get into that, actually, I will go into paint schemes. In Between the Lanes, my favorite paint scheme from the clash might have been the winning one. The Coca-Cola paint scheme, even though Pepsi is better, the Coca-Cola paint scheme is pretty good looking. Really good looking race car. It went to victory lane. It did some burnouts, like a really good paint scheme by Coca-Cola. Good for them. Let's see. Honestly, both Valvoline schemes this year are really good. Like last year, I think it was, or maybe it was 2 years ago. It was the like gray and blue Valvoline scheme, and it was that ugly gray too. That was a bad one. I'm trying to remember what everyone did. I mean, a lot of these were pretty basic, pretty normal. Yeah, Austin Dillon's new Bass Pro scheme. Really good looking race car. Sharp looking car. Once again, the new Napa, it doesn't really inspire me. Zilich and SVG kind of had the dueling trackhouse schemes, and Zilich ran SVG's paint scheme from last year, which really just messed me up. Same number, same font, same color, same kind of general idea. So when I was looking at the 88, I was like, oh yeah, SVG, he's Weiss, what's he doing there? And then I was like, wait a second, why does Van Gisbergen in a different position? It's going to take me so long to get that straightened out this year. I still look at the 4-car and think Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick hasn't raced since 2023. It's going to take a while. I'm going to call Shane van Gisbergen the 88 a few times this year, and you're going to have to deal with it. Please don't yell at me. Please. Marty says, the Clash, what a mess. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Denver says, the Clash, but NASCAR should make it marketing tool for international markets at the end of the season. I get what you're saying there, and they did do that in the 90s when they went to Japan in the off-season and they made it an exhibition race. So it's an idea, but I don't think you can do it every year. It's just not cost efficient at all for an exhibition race every single year to be overseas. But yeah, what a mess. As Marty said, the Clash, what a mess. So almost every car finished. Only one car was a lap down, Bubba Wallace. And that was the problem. There were 14 cautions the second half of this race. 14 cautions. Over 25 miles, there were 14. We almost had a caution a mile the second half of this race. Okay? So, it was a little bit too much. It was a little bit too much. What a mess, as you said. When the sleet came in, everyone just started losing their minds, right? And the problem was, back to the original point, people weren't crashing out. People were doing spins. They would hit the wall very lightly because they weren't going fast enough. Denny Hamlin caught air and finished, look where he finished. He finished in the top 5. He caught air in this race. And that is ultimately the problem. People were not crashing out of this race. That sounds terrible to say, but if we're going to have 17 cautions, a 23-car field on a quarter-mile track, we need people to crash out in order to not have 17 cautions, with 14 of those being in the last half of the race. If 8 of those cars got eliminated in the first 8 cautions, we would not have seen 17 cautions because there would not be enough cars to have that many cautions. So, late in the race, I tweeted out a rule change proposal that probably won't get looked at. But my rule proposal mid-race, I was like, it's an exhibition race. We can change the rules on the fly. Who cares? There's no points being paid. My mid-race proposal was, if you go backwards, you are disqualified. If you get spun out by someone else, tough luck. If you spin someone else out and you go with them, tough luck. If you are going backwards at any point, disqualified. Just get off the racetrack. You're done. It would have helped out so much. Really, really would have. Okay, let's go to the comments here. Micah says Byron's Valvoline scheme and Bell's Mobile 1 scheme are my favorites from last night. The Bob's scheme is kind of growing on me. Hey, there you go. I think P&K said the Bob's one sucked. Yeah, P&K said I hate the Bob's car. In between the lanes said Bell with Mobile 1. Yeah, Mobile 1 has yet to miss with a Bell scheme, I feel like, but the 2024 P&K kind of nailed it. The 2024 Mobile 1 scheme will never be topped. The black and red and white, with the black being the primary. Last year they inverted it and they had the white be the primary color, but the black, white, and red with the black base was perfect. That was the best Mobile 1 scheme by a good bit. And that's saying something because the other ones are still pretty good. Like this year's is still pretty good. In between the lanes, like the Trackhouse schemes. Okay. Hello, Born Again Briar. Yes, of course I remember you. Yeah. Who will win first? Ty Gibbs, Hocevar, or Connor Zilic? That's a really good question. Nope, I'm not saying anything. You will have to wait till Sunday. I'm going to self-promote, and I'm going to say you have to wait till Sunday when I do my season preview and predictions. The notebook is over there. Have I written anything on it yet? No, that's tomorrow's task. How did Hamlin finish top 5? I don't know. As previously stated, he was airborne at one point, but still finished 5th. Jamie says, I don't think any place without an infield garage should not host a race except a street race. I don't think... You got a double negative going there, Jamie. What do you really want? Well, to be fair, it's an exhibition, so we can kind of screw around with no pit lane because, as previously stated, it's an exhibition race. No points. If you don't win, then that's it. Sorry, something shiny. We're still on the paint schemes. PNK, thank you for reminding me. Another thing I'm going to have to adjust. We're all going to have to adjust to this year. It's no longer the Xfinity Series. It's now the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. I'm going to call it O'Reilly, the O'Reilly Series. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series is too long of a name. Or the No Apps. No Apps? O-N-A-P-S. No Apps. I hope that's not a bad word. Or like a worse. I should probably Google that before I start saying it more. Dude, I Googled No Apps, and the first result, National Oil and Acrylic Painter Society. Yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. No Apps. Oh, here we go. Okay. It took 4 results. We had the National Oil and Acrylic Painter Society, noapps.org. Then we had the Facebook page. Then we had the blog. The blog. Oh, God. Okay. I might need to clear the search history after this one. That's horrifying, the description. Then we get to NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Okay. And burn. Where was I? It shows that NASCAR don't have... Yeah, NASCAR still kind of babies the teams in the field when it comes to racing in the rain, which is a little bit annoying. But to be fair, last night was not rain. It was freezing weather, which once it melts down, it's the same as rain. But we don't know the effects that sleet has as compared to rain. Like when it hits the ground, is it extra slick? That's the questions I'm asking. They might know this already. But yeah, I get why they took a little bit more precaution because it was winter weather and not normal weather, like rain. So I get it, but at the same time, it's an exhibition race. Let's go crazy. It's not like we're going 200 at Daytona. They tried to race in 200 at Daytona before, and they killed the field. So, yeah. Soon we will have this all sorted out. Maybe. Monty, very good prediction there. Monty said Connor Zilic for Rookie of the Year. That's a very safe bet considering he is the only rookie. That's a good one. Yep. In between the lanes. It no longer says the name. It's now the manufacturer. Jamie says Kyle Busch showed some promise and I'm not a Busch fan. I don't read too much into the Clash, honestly. We don't race on a track any track really similar the rest of the year. And I just wouldn't read too much into it. Like last year, Chase Elliott obliterated the field, right? He killed everyone at a short track. Well, he only won 2 races in 2025. One was at a 1.5 miles. The other was a super speedway. So, as I said, don't read too much into it. Now, Elliott still did good at other short tracks, like Martinsville in the spring. I think he led a lot of laps, and that's all I remember from Chase Elliott on the short tracks in 2025. So, once again, I just wouldn't read too much into it. Like, when we do our SVG recap, which that's going to be a thing again, still a following on this channel from Australia and New Zealand, so we're still going to do the SVG recaps. I got you guys. But like, I'm not going to go super in depth just because it's a preseason race and like, we got to talk about it, but we're not going to read super deep into it like it's a season changing impact. Born Again Briar wants to start a prophecy. Okay, Born Again Briar, I will say, if you have any bold predictions for 2026, save it. Anyone, this is for everyone. Save it. I will be posting a bold predictions in fact, I need to mark this. How many minutes into this thing are we? About 20-ish. I don't know. 20, let's call it 20. So, I'm going to restart. I'm going to clip this and post this tomorrow. Put my hands down. Okay, so I want your bold predictions. I want your bold NASCAR predictions. You people in the live chat, save it. Save it for the video. Because if you put it now in the live chat, I will not remember it. I will not come back to look at it. So please don't yell at me when I don't look at it. I want it in the comments of this video that has been posted as an individual video. I want your bold 2026 NASCAR predictions. Now, coming over here, we did this last year. It had a lot of response. We went through a lot of bold predictions last year. So, as I said in the description, I want to hear from you. Tell me your boldest predictions for this will be for the 2026 NASCAR season. It can be anything. Do you have a good feeling on who's going to win at Nashville this summer? Send it. You have a good feeling on an underdog making the playoffs? Well, now the chase for the Cup? Send it. Do you have a good feeling on a driver coming out of retirement? Send it. Let's hear it. Well, ironically, if we had done this a few weeks ago and you said Tony Stewart, you would have nailed that. So, any bold prediction, it can be anything. PNK's asking what's the limit? There's no limit. We won't go through every single one for the reaction video kind of thing, but we'll go through like a good chunk. But I want to hear your boldest prediction. We'll rate them on like a scale of 1 to 10. And then after the season, remember, if you're going to put these bold predictions in the comments, after the season, we will be going over them. We did that last year. There were some rough ones, like this first one. Joey Logano runs the Indy 500. That did not happen. That unfortunately did not happen either. Nope. Nope. Not really close on the first half, but nope. Shockingly close. We don't need to go through all these. So make your bold predictions for 2026 in the comments. All right. Well, that's one tab done. So we got to go on a side tangent at some point in this video. Trust me. Dude, my mind was blown the other night. And not even by the movie. It was by something I read after the movie. We'll go into it. This whole live stream has been something shiny and me getting distracted. Oh my goodness. Jamie, why would you bring that up? Fox. Look, I'm one of the people who thinks that Fox gets too much crap. Like, people will nitpick the smallest things about Fox. It's like, oh, how dare they not move the camera fast enough and the car is still in frame. Like, people will nitpick just small things about Fox because people don't like Fox, right? Because Fox, if we're being honest, they are sometimes the weakest of the broadcasting groups that broadcast NASCAR, but they still have their moments that they do really good. So, point being, I think Fox is overhated, but let me tell you, I'm still mad about the fact that we got booted off the Big Fox for The Masked Singer. I don't know what the ratings are for that show. I don't know who actually likes it. I've never talked to a single person about it. But we got demoted to FS2 for The Masked Singer. That hurts. Once again, if it was football, if it was a live sporting event, a significant sporting event, I would have been understanding, if it was the NFL, college football, if it was college basketball, heck, if it was college baseball, I'd be understandable. It's a regular season game for them, big deal. I understand that. The Masked Singer. I don't think Fox is booting any of their other sports off for The Masked Singer. That's why I'm so upset about it. But to get demoted to FS2 for the Masked Singer, just that hurts. It genuinely hurts. It's I get it's a preseason race. It's gone beyond the time window because of the unlimited cautions. We don't have caution laps counting. Sure, it's gone long, but to get booted to FS2 for the Masked Singer, that annoyed me. I thought the booth was good too, Micah. Honestly, the booth did a really good job. There was a couple moments where I don't know what the 67 joke is. I don't get it. I've never understood it. People have explained it to me as it's not even a thing. It's not a joke. It doesn't make sense to me, and it really just makes me mad more than anything because I don't get it. Why is it a thing? And when Kevin Harvick kept on trying to force the 67 joke in there, But outside of that, the Fox booth was great. No, Harvick and Boyer actually, for some reason, it's like they rekindled their romance. That sounds bad. They rekindled like their... I don't know how to describe it, but it seemed like they were clicking a lot more last night. Maybe it's just the time off. They've kind of been able to reset, but it was like Harvick would say one thing and Boyer would jump right on top of it and be like, "You're right, Kevin. That's because of this, this, and this." And then Boyer would say something very intriguing or something really insightful, and Harvick would be like, "You're right, Clint, and because of this, this, this." And they were really clicking off each other, and it kind of led into Mike Joy, and Mike Joy like got his fastball back, and he was kind of every once in a while he'd had some fire behind his call, and I was like, man, if this is what we're going to get for the first third of the season, I'm actually really, really excited. Now, if we're getting booted off of Fox for The Masked Singer, my excitement will plummet again, but for now, I will remain optimistic despite losing to The Masked Singer. I went to their Twitter. There was an eggplant. Someone dressed up as an eggplant and was dancing around. That's what we lost to. And then commercials. Yeah, commercials suck. The LCQ, there was commercial 8 laps into the LCQ. 14-second laps. Anyways. The 67 joke is not funny. Agreed, PNK. Thank you. Martinsville should... Oh, Born Again Briar. No, Martinsville's fall race is great. The spring one is... I'm an extremist who thinks every track should only have one race, but if Martinsville's keeping a race, the fall race is the one they are keeping. The short track, so that was our first race with the 750 package, or the 750 horsepower. The first half of the race in the LCQ were actually kind of good. Like, I was really excited after the LCQ. I was like, if we're getting this in the main event, we're going to have a really good race. And then, of course, the rain ruined it, or the sleet ruined it. But it was a pretty solid first half of the race before the sleet arrived, so I'm cautiously optimistic about the short tracks this year. I don't think it's going to solve every problem. Like, we're not going to see 10 out of 10 bangers every single race, but I'm optimistic. I think Bristol is a question mark, though. Bristol is still a question mark. Just because of the tires and everything. Like, I really don't know what to expect at Bristol, but, like, Martinsville, New Hampshire, Richmond, if that's a good sign, which I shouldn't read too much into it because Bowman Gray is completely different, but hey. Yeah, I think, so in between the lanes, Trackhouse did this last year with with SVG and Chastain, where it was kind of like a test scheme kind of thing, and I think that's what they're going for, honestly. Marty, good for you. I'm glad you like that joke, but I don't get it. Can you explain it to me, please? I'm begging you. Anyone explain that joke for me, please. Micah says, watch them switch the Daytona 500 to FS2 with 30 to go to show MasterChef USA. If we get booted off, if the Daytona 500 gets booted off for some TV show that you can record and watch later, I will rant for an hour at least. The Daytona 500 getting booted for anything that's not like the NFL is a war crime. That would be egregious. That would be like contract termination levels of bad. Like NASCAR, if you're a NASCAR executive and the Daytona 500 gets booted off for MasterChef USA, you terminate the contract as soon as possible. Yeah. I don't know what the legal implications are, but you terminate that contract. Jamie, all right. Thank you for that information, Jamie. Mike. Hey, Mike. Mike, we were talking about your fantasy league ideas earlier, which, by the way, people go vote for the fantasy league name. Mike came up with 2 of the name options, and Jamie came up with the other 2. In fact, let's see. We started the stream. There were 122 votes on that. If this thing does not, then we'll see. We're up to 125 votes. Guys, go vote. Come on, go to the channel, this channel. Go to posts, and the most recent post, it's our fantasy league vote. Vote for what our fantasy league should be called. I forgot about McDowell jumping. Yeah, and it was pretty blatant, too. Like, McDowell was the first one to get to the restart box. He was the first one to take off. It was pretty bad. I'll take your word for it, Monty. Marty, but why is it funny? What does it mean? I feel like an old person here. Like, why am I supposed to laugh at the 67, the 6-7 thing? Like, is there a punchline? Is there like a secret meaning? Is it like it's joking about a guy who tripped and fell, and as he fell, he said 6-7 and then landed in a pile of peanut butter? Like, I don't get it. All right, we got to stop talking about that stupid joke. Mike, it's too late. We've already done the poll long enough, and I didn't want to like fully include, like, just blatantly add my name, which is why I like the culpability one better, because it's kind of like a little hint of it in there, But no, Mike, that was just the ones that I like the best out of the ones you suggested. So yeah, I mean, maybe like if we change it next year, I might throw that in there. But for now, we're just gonna stick with that. Yeah, the prime coverage last year was so good. Honestly, it really was. What do you think about the idea of NASCAR switching Cup races to Saturday? And no, because the only problem is that we can't. The entire point of a NASCAR weekend is to build up to the Cup Series race. We have practice, we have qualifying, then we have the lower series, and then that's supposed to get everyone excited for the Cup race on Sunday. So if we flip it and we do the Cup race first, well, then everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, we're done with NASCAR for the weekend, and then Xfinity, O'Reilly, and the trucks are kind of going to get screwed there because everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, I guess they exist, but we already got our NASCAR fix in for the weekend. There's so much going on in the comments. This is so exciting. What a great start to the year. If we get a commercial with 4 to go under green flag conditions, I will not be happy. If it's under caution, that's fine. Like, anytime there's a caution, that's the time to play the commercials. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think. All right, what do you want first? I'm going to ask you guys what you want first. And these are going to be 2 options I will never put side by side again on this channel. I got to make sure I spelled that right. I don't think I spelled that right. Oh, I did spell it right. Let's go. All right. Everyone go vote on what you want first. At 8:35, 5 minutes from now, I will see what the vote is at, and then we will move on to whatever topic that is. And yeah. So Avatar Side Tangent is currently leading, and this will be clipped tomorrow. I have determined that I'm going to start clipping these live stream more and like post them throughout the week or like the next day to kind of get some more stuff going. But yeah, we'll see. Which team will be the next to switch to Dodge? In the Cup Series, it'll probably be Colleague, if I had to guess. If it had to be another truck team, no idea. Xfinity. Guys, you're going to have to bear with me. It's not happening anytime soon. O'Reilly, the O'Reilly series, I don't know. We'll see. I'm just so... that's going to be such a pain the entire year. Maybe longer. I remember the Nationwide to Xfinity transition, but that was before I was even watching the Nationwide series. So it didn't impact me as much because by the time I started watching it, it had been known as the Xfinity series so long that I just knew Xfinity, 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 Xfinity. This is the first hard transition I've had to make. And like with the truck series, like when it was the Craftsman truck series, then it was the Gander Outdoors or the Camping World. It's just like, okay, everyone calls it the truck series. You don't really need the sponsor name. And then the Cup series was the same thing. When it went from Nextel to Sprint to Monster Energy, it was like, okay, well, I know that it's the Cup series, so I'm just going to call it the Cup series. But the secondary series, what else do we call it? Harvick called it the Grand National Series last night, but it's going to be a tough time for everyone to go from Xfinity to O'Reilly. Hello, Aussie Thunderwood 4766. I wish they didn't do the ats or the ats are fine, but like when it showed the name, so I could have like a one name. Like I know at the Ace Steeler 101 is Denver because Denver's been here so long, and at Aussie Thunderwood 4766. I know you've been here a good amount of time, but I wish that I knew your name or a shorter name. I'm a bit late to the show, but what's your thoughts on the road courses being reduced from 6 to 4? Was it down to stop SVG from making the chase? No, it's not that deep. It's not why they did it. NASCAR fans have been turned off by the road courses / the Roval since the next gen car was introduced back in 2022. 2022, COTA was a really good race. That was a classic. Outside of that, and it rained at Watkins Glen. Those were really good races. But outside of that, the road courses were rough. Sonoma was decent because we had 3 guys fighting for a win that don't usually fight for a win between Michael McDowell, Daniel Suarez, and Chris Buescher, with Suarez getting the win. But the Roval was an all-time stinker. I was at that race. It was rough. The other road courses we had in 2022 were Road America. Tyler Reddick won his first race. I don't even remember how. Where else did we go in 2022? Point being, they were rough. And then 2023 came around and they got even rougher. Watkins Glen, stinker. Sonoma, I don't even remember who won in Sonoma in 2023. Sonoma 2023. Who won Sonoma? Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. Truex. I think it was Truex. Couldn't even tell you how he won. Chicago was exciting because it was the first time we'd ever done that and it rained. But outside of that, not a memorable moment from a road course in 2023. So by that point, everyone was kind of tired of the road courses, and people don't like that the Roval took away from the Oval because the Charlotte Oval is great with the next-gen car, and the Roval stinks with the next-gen car, so why don't we go to the Oval? As for getting rid of Mexico, that was kind of a contract thing. Like, they only had a one-year deal, and with the World Cup being in Mexico this year, NASCAR's not competing with the World Cup. So that was never on the table. And then adding another road course, we got San Diego. But in terms of adding another one, I just don't think they had enough time. So we're going to have more next year if I had to bet. Now, we're not going to go like shoot up to 7 or 8, but I would say 6 max. 5 would be my guess. I think we have another street race. Watkins Glen, Sonoma, COTA will be on the schedule. And then there's going to be like a wild card. It could be another street race. It could be going back to another old road course or going to a new one. Like we could go to Canada. I don't know. So I would guess 5. But no, it's not an SVG thing. It's people are not happy with road courses because the next-gen car has been stinky on the road courses for the most part. So the phrase of the year for the SVG fans across the Pacific Ocean will be, it's not that deep. I love you guys, but sometimes it truly is not that deep. It's 8:35. Speaking of, okay. Out of the 16 votes, 62% of you wanted to hear the SVG recap before the Avatar side tangent. That's a fair point. I would have probably voted for that too, honestly. The Avatar side tangent is going to be so stupid, but I have to get it out. I really do. Okay, SVG recap. We are going to rapid fire this thing, guys. For those of you in the comments, we will get to the comments at some point. So every week on the Monday after, we do an SVG recap. We go back, we look at Shane van Gisbergen's day. We kind of break down all the little NASCAR things that you don't see anywhere else. And I cut this, put it in a video tonight so all the people in Australia and New Zealand can get it in the prime time of the afternoon. But, okay. Let's start it. What time is it? 8:36, so about 40 minutes into this thing. Mentally locked in. We're good. NASCAR in 2026 is here. I am already making mistakes in 2026 because Connor Zilisch had the exact same paint scheme that SVG had in this race last year. Remember, boys and girls, Shane van Gisbergen. Oh, no, I'm not clicked on this. Here we go. Shane van Gisbergen changed numbers over the offseason. He is now number 97. Apparently, that number means something to him, and apparently he had it somewhere else. Did not know that. That's sarcasm. Please do not yell at me in the comments. That is a joke. It was a dumb joke. I will not make it again. Shane van Gisbergen's first race of 2026 is the Clash. The Clash is NASCAR's preseason race. No points are paid. It is simply kind of like a build-up to the season, kind of like a get hyped, get excited. Well, this one takes place in a football stadium that is, I think they said a local college and a local high school play at the stadium. Wake Forest University, which is a big university in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where this race is. I think they said that they used to play back at the stadium. Now, that would have been a long, long time ago because now I'm sure the Wake Forest Stadium is much bigger. But anyways, we're getting sidetracked here. How did Shane van Gisbergen's Clash go this year? Remember last year, he got a top 10 in his first ever Clash. Kind of a big deal. Like, really good job. Now, at the end of the day, the Clash does not mean anything. We do not race at another track like this. This is a quarter-mile track. It's flat. It's inside a football stadium. As I said, we're not going to see anything like this. Even Martinsville, which is a flat half-mile track, not really that similar if we're being brutally honest. Well, this was the race of two different halves. So Shane van Gisbergen qualified his way into the race. This race was supposed to happen on Sunday, but due to a snowstorm, or almost 8 inches, which... I haven't converted yet. 8 inches to cm. 8 inches is equivalent to 20 centimeters of snow fell in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and pushed this race to Wednesday night. That is 3 days later. 3 days later. Yeah, that sounds about right. To when it was originally scheduled. So, we didn't start on schedule. We didn't start on time. We started at a completely different time of the week for this preseason race. So, as a result, qualifying was scrapped. Qualifying was supposed to be normal qualifying where you have some groups go out there and they try to put down the fastest time, but then it was going to set up for heat races. I think there were going to be 4 or 5 heat races that were going to set up the lineup, and then we were going to have a last chance qualifier heat. Well, because of the weather, we ended up only having regular qualifying and a last chance qualifier. No heat races. Well, Shane van Gisbergen just straight up qualified for the main show. I think he qualified 17th. So no need to worry about the last chance qualifier. Well, here's the breakdown of the race. First half of the race, Hornet's Nest. The in-car camera was thrilling television. Him, Daniel Suarez, Connor Zilisch, Bubba Wallace, and a few other guys just kept on beating the crap out of each other. The midfield to the back of the field at short tracks is just guys beating the crap out of each other. And Bowman Gray, quarter mile, tight quarters. This track is called the Madhouse because people wreck each other all the time. They shove each other into the fence. They make each other mad. There's a lot of viral videos online of Bowman Gray where people are fighting each other. So that was essentially the first half of the race for SVG. He even dumped Austin Cindric at one point, and I think he got on the radio and essentially said, like, I've had enough of this. Like, I got to start punching back, and like, and then he's like, why is Daniel Suarez so mad at me? Like something. I don't know. You saw the quote. So they were all having their, trying to think of a nicer version of pissing match. Their little squabble, we'll call it that. In the mid-pack to the back of the field, SVG ran 13th to 19th the entire first half of the race. Well, then we had a halftime break because it's an exhibition race and who cares? And also there's not a pit lane because it's a football stadium. Anyways, second half of the race, it started sleeting. I'm not kidding. It was sleeting. Not raining, not pouring rain, not hail like the stuff that damages things. Sleeting. Winter weather hit the track in the middle of the race. As a result, NASCAR puts on the wet weather tires and Shane van Gisbergen turns into prime Jeff Gordon and drives up through the field. Goes up into the top 10, into the top 5. He even took the lead for a bit. Let's go to the statistics over here. I hope they have the statistics over here. He led 15 laps in this thing. When there are no points paid in these NASCAR races on the ovals, Shane van Gisbergen just goes off. Finishes top 10 in the Clash last year. Was on the pole for the All-Star Open and led the first 54 laps. I ended up looking up that number last night of that race before a pit call kind of screwed them there. And then this year, leads 15 laps of the Clash, drives up through the field on the wet weather tires, the rain tires if you want to call them that, and takes the lead, fights with Ryan Preece for the lead, but unfortunately his chances at winning were wiped out by Chase Briscoe. As I said, the Madhouse is about shoving people around, pushing people into the fence, and yes, you spin people out. As previously mentioned, SVG dumped Austin Cindric. Well, he ended up getting dumped by Chase Briscoe. Was it intentional? No. It was just classic Bowman Gray stuff. Guys, it's not that deep. That is going to be our catchphrase for the year, SVG fans. It's not that deep. They did not wipe him out because they don't like him. If you go through the highlights, I guarantee you can find every single one of these drivers was involved in an incident. Whether it was a spin or hitting the wall, getting pinched into the wall, every single one of these 23 drivers were in an incident. Even Ryan Preece, the race winner, at some point, I'm pretty sure I saw in the highlights, he was spinning. It happened to everyone. There were 17 cautions in this race, 14 cautions in the last half of this race, which was 25 miles. It happens. It's a Bowman Gray thing. It's an exhibition race. Don't think too much about it. He ends up finishing, what, 20th? 20th. First race in the 97, finishes 20th, but led 15 laps on an oval. Good for him. No points are paid. This race will be forgotten in about 3 months' time. Cool. First SVG recap of the year. Done. Next week is the Daytona 500, the biggest race in NASCAR, and I will update you on that once we need to. Sunday, here in the United States Sunday, I will do my full season preview and predictions. So look out for that video. If you want to join our NASCAR Fantasy League, feel free to do that as well. I will put that link in the description of this video if I remember to. So if I don't, someone in the comments remind me to. Okay, back to the stream. What's up, guys? I'm back. Thank you for letting me do the SVG recap. Did I do a good job this week? Probably not, because I kind of rambled a lot, and I didn't really take notes. I kind of just guesstimated. Lindsay, what's up? How's it going? I'm ready for next week, Daytona and the return of Ram. Yes, we will get to our Monday picks at some point. What else do we need to talk about in the Clash and everything? Is there anything else we need to touch on? Ryan Preece, that was kind of an exciting way for him to get his first kind of win. He joins Jeff Gordon and Denny Hamlin as the only drivers to win the Clash before they won their first Cup Series race. So that's kind of exciting. That's kind of a cool group to be in. I could for sure see Preece winning a Cup Series race this year. Great short track racer. He was great with RFK last year. Almost won. He almost won at Talladega before he was disqualified. So, yeah, that was really cool. And it was really cool to see the emotion. Like, I joke about it and I say it like every 5 seconds, but you know, nobody cares about the Clash if you don't win, and it's an exhibition race. Like, oh well, we'll forget about this race here in a few months. But for Ryan Preece, it's a really big deal. He's had an up and down career. Nothing has been guaranteed for him in his career. RFK kind of took a chance on the guy. JTG Doherty and SHR, yes, every once in a while he had some good results, but there was nothing really standing out significantly. Like, he wasn't just murdering his teammates and just embarrassing them, wiping the floor with them to be like, oh, we need this guy in our shop. But he was doing a solid job. He had some really good results, as I said, but this was kind of his first big chance in the Cup Series, and he had a really good first season with them last year. He would have finished top 15 in the points if it wasn't for the playoffs. And he comes out in 2026 right off the bat, wins a race. Good for him. I'm really excited to see what Preece does this year. I don't want to see a sophomore slump from him. With RFK, of course. I'm really interested to see if he can make the chase and what he can do in the chase. Because RFK, I think all three of their guys have a really good shot of making the chase, which I will tell you if they do on Sunday. But then again, I'm wrong a lot, so you never know. Micah says, I know it's the clash, but the 7 and the 77 were good. Yeah, so the 7 was kind of meh the first half of the race, and then the SLEET showed up, and he flipped the script, and he was suddenly top 5. 77 was good in both conditions before he got wrecked. So, yeah. Spire, strong start. They just signed Hocevar to an extension. I mean, Spire Motorsports starting off the year strong, but once again, it's the exhibition race. I will not read too much into it. Corey will be the driver. Lindsay, we're saving our bold predictions for later in the week. Tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll post a video. That's where I want your bold predictions. Or your hot takes, whatever you want to call it. Well, weather... Oh, Jamie, we're playing a dangerous game here. Daytona Beach, Florida weather. We're 10 days out. Okay. That's good. All right. Looking good for Wednesday night qualifying. Tad bit iffy on the duels that night, but right now it's good. It's only 15%. That's a low number. We can fight against that. But right now, qualifying looks good. The duels look good for now, but they could get worse.
Warm advection snow.
Oh, no. Silence. I'm not trying to get copywritten. Sunday, partly cloudy, 24% chance of
warm advection snow for us this morning.
Silence.
Pushing on to the south.
Oh my goodness, I muted you. Okay. 24% chance of precipitation. Partly cloudy sky, 68 degrees of a high. Right now we're looking decent. Monday is only 7% chance. So we're for sure getting it in by Monday. If this stays, things can always change with the weather, especially in Florida. But for now, we're looking decent. Do not worry, Lindsay. I will post that tomorrow by 3 o'clock, potentially, if I remember. I'll do my best. No promises. But no, if you put a bold prediction in the comments of this live stream, I will ultimately forget it. I am using that video for tomorrow, bold predictions for 2026 intentionally, so that's kind of like my bookmarks for bold predictions. It's nothing it's not against you. I'm just saying in general, I want a place to keep that. So we did it last year. It worked well last year. So yeah. Yeah, Daniel Short and Austin Dillon, no one's talking about. Austin Dillon, top 10. He spun out at some point, I'm pretty sure. And here he is in the top 10. Good start to the year for him. Clash should be for the Truck Series clash. Oh, my goodness. The Truck Series and the SLEET. Bowman Gray, I don't know if we could handle that. All right. I'm not giving you guys a choice here. It's time for the avatar side tangent. I need to pull up a second tab here. All right. Nope. Okay. Oh, nope. Googled the wrong thing. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm telling you, man, this blew my mind. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. All right. So. Okay. Here we go. Okay. By the way, I will not be spoiling this movie. Do not worry. Even though it's like out of theaters in the next 2 days, I will not be spoiling it for you. Okay. I have to go on this little side tangent about Avatar here. So I finally saw Avatar 3. Avatar Fire and Ash. That's what they ended up calling it. I waited so long because back in early December, I saw Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair in theaters. And it was such a good movie. I went back and saw it another 2 times because it was the greatest movie theater experience I had. I am now declaring it my favorite movie, right? And I wanted that to be my most recent theater experience for as long as possible. Well, then I ended up seeing Marty Supreme. And then I was like, oh God, I still need to see Avatar. So I go and see the new Avatar movie. And I was like, all right, it's decent. And I have thoughts on certain parts that I could get into, but that is not what we're here to go on this side tangent about. Okay, so look at this, guys. Look at this. I'm doing my post-movie research. It's like 11 p.m. I'm about to go to bed. Like, I'm doing all this research on the movie, like looking at all the IMDb trivia and stuff. And then I go to the actresses and actors. And I'm looking at the new people because, I know Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana. Like, I know these people who have been in the movie. So I go to some of the new people. So look at this new character right here. Don't even remember the character's name. I just know her as Psycho Village Leader Lady in Avatar. Okay? You guys see her, right? And so I go and click on the actress. Una Chaplin. Una? Una. I'm going to go with Una. Una Chaplin. Don't know the name, but I saw, she was in Game of Thrones. She was Richard Madden's wife, and, that goes south in the TV show. And I go to her trivia, and you will not believe who her grandfather is. You will not believe it. I was mind blown. Her grandfather is Charlie Chaplin. That blew my mind because my first thought is imagine going to Charlie Chaplin's prime, which is like the 1930s, right? Showing him this picture, or his fans or whoever's there, going and showing them this picture and saying, that's Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter. In the 1930s, that would just be the most mind-blowing scenario. What would they even do? How would they respond? They see this blue alien picture looking thing and they're like, that's Charlie's granddaughter. What happens in the future? I had to go on this side tangent. I really did. It blew my mind. I was genuinely mind blown by this fact. Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter is in the new Avatar movie and is a blue person. I forgot what they were called. The blue people, the Blue Man Group. I'm sorry, I had to go on the side tangent. It blew my mind the other night. I had to get it out. I just imagine going back to the 1930s, showing them the blue people and saying, that is Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter. It just blew my mind. It really did. So anyways, end of tangent, end of whatever that was. Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter is a blue person in the Avatar movies. So, yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, it blew my mind. I didn't even think about it. I saw Chaplin was her last name, and I did not even think about it. Just completely went over my head. Would have never guessed it. Jamie, thank you for the contribution to the channel. Even your Logano is inevitable. I am looking forward to your comment in the video. No, Martin, I did not see that. All right, guys, it's time for Monday picks. We lost some viewers on the Avatar side tangent. Can't say I'm shocked. We were going to go over this, but I don't want to get into this today. We can get into this next week. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to read it. Okay. On to the projected entry list for the Daytona 500. I'm going to see if I can find the projected entry list for Xfinity. Oh, really? And trucks. So we only have Cup on J-Ski, the projected entry list. I'm going to... Oh, here we go. Oh. Daytona race pitch. Okay, here we go. Entry list. We don't have it yet. And we don't have that. Okay. We're just gonna go with Daytona 500 Monday picks. Only Daytona 500. Here's your tentative. Daytona 500 entry list. So let's go to the open cars first. Who are the open cars? So down here we have our first open entry is Chandler Smith in the 36 for front row. That is our first open entry. Then we have Justin Allgaier in the 40. For Junior Motorsports, we have J.J. Yaley in the 44 for NY Racing. We have Anthony Alfredo in the 62, Casey Mears in the 66, Corey Heim in the 67, and B.J. McLeod in the 78, Corey LaJoie in the 99, and Jimmy Johnson in the 84. We have 9 open entries. 4 get in. 4 get into the Daytona 500. So, with that being said, everyone, who are the 4 that make the Daytona 500? Which of these 4 open drivers make it? I have my picks already. I want to hear yours. Who makes the Daytona 500 out of the open cars? Mike, it's not that deep. You'll be fine. It's okay, Mike. Mike, Chase Briscoe fans are fine. Chase Briscoe is fine. It's an exhibition race. And as for the Chicago thing, it was pouring rain and he did not intend to take out SVG. He came from a far away back. That was not crazy. You'll be okay, Mike. It's okay. It's okay. I'm patting you on the shoulder. It's okay, Mike. Born Again Breyer says Allgaier. I almost said Allgaier. Allgaier, Alfredo, Johnson, and Chandler Smith. I think Alfredo would be the kind of wild card there because you think about our entries here. We have an FRM Tier 1 Ford team. We have a Hendrick backed, essentially, Allgaier car, but we also have a 2311 car that's got some Joe Gibbs affiliation. So that'd be a really big deal for Alfredo to make it over them. And then Jimmy Johnson, Legacy Motor Club. I mean, he finished third. Finished third in the Daytona 500 last year. You never know. Jamie says Heim, Johnson, not LaJoie. Well, we need 2 more then. Jamie, we need 2 more. Heim, Johnson. Who are the other 2? Mike, Chase Briscoe is a great driver. He's a funny guy. He seems like a great person. He's sponsored by Bass Pro Shops, and he's a really good race car driver. So, I'm sorry that he's taken out your favorite driver 2 times. But one of them was an exhibition race, and the other one, he didn't have control of his car because it was raining really hard. So that's all I got for you. Martin says Justin Allgaier, Corey LaJoie, Anthony Alfredo, and Chandler Smith will make the Daytona 500. Corey Heim just barely misses it. Lindsay says the 84 is in. Cody Ware is making the Daytona 500. Cody Ware is a chartered car. So, Jamie, we need 1 more from you. Jamie's got Heim, Jimmy Johnson, and Allgaier. Who is the 4th? I mean, if you guys are all going to doubt Corey Heim, I'm going to go ahead and say Corey Heim is making the Daytona 500. My 4 are going to be Corey Heim. I'm going to go with the Hendrick-backed car of Allgaier. So that means there's going to be 2 spots open in the duel. Because remember Toyota? Was it Toyota that was really good in qualifying at the super speedways last year? Or was that 2 years ago? I'm going to go Heim. I'm going to go Allgaier. I'm going to go LaJoy. Maybe the pace has something there for Ford. The fourth one, I'm going to go with a wild card. I think Jimmy Johnson misses. I think this is he is yet to miss it as an open car. I feel like his luck's going to run out. Jimmy Johnson does not make it. And the other people have Casey Mears is a feel-good story. Let's go with Casey Mears. So my 4 getting in, I'm going to go Corey Heim. I'm going to go Corey LaJoy, Justin Allgaier, and Casey Mears. There you go. Jimmy Johnson's locked in. Does he have that OEP? Oh my goodness. If he has the OEP. Oh, of course he does. Okay, Jimmy Johnson's in the Daytona 500. Ignore me. Jimmy Johnson is locked in the Daytona 500. So, Jimmy Johnson has to use the OEP. That's my prediction. Jimmy Johnson is going to be forced to use the OEP. We will have a 41-car Daytona 500. That's my first prediction of the season, is that we're going to have a 41-car Daytona 500. So, woo. Sorry, guys. I missed that memo. That's on me. That's my bad. All right, now on to what we all really want to predict. Who will win the 2026 Daytona 500? Here's your entry list. Here's the announced or expected sponsors. Ross Chastain, Cindric, Dillon, Gregson, Larson, Brad off of the broken leg, Suarez, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Ty Dillon, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Allmendinger, Buescher, Briscoe, Bell, Barry, Logano, Bubba. Byron's won the last 2 of these things. Todd, Herbst, Chandler Smith, Zane Smith. We got a couple Smiths. Allgaier, Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, Jones, J.J. Yaley, Reddick, Stenhouse, Bowman, Ware, Gibbs, Preece, Alfredo, Casey Mears, Corey High, Michael McDowell, Carson Hocevar, Get Loud for McLeod, Jimmy Johnson, Connor Zilch, Shane van Gisbergen, or Corey LaJoy. Lindsay says, give me AJ Allmendinger. Okay, AJ Allmendinger won the Daytona 500. That'd be something. David says Casey Mears. Wow, really going out there, David, for your first Monday pick of the year. Martin says, since Preece won the Clash, I'm picking Preece to go back-to-back if he does not become an airplane. Oh, boy. Ryan Preece. Oh, boy. Micah says, Kyle Busch will win the 500. I've been picking him the last 3 years, and I'm going to keep picking him until he wins it. Well, Micah, what if, do you really want me to finish that sentence? What if I'll lip it? Sorry to say such a depressing thing for you or any other Kyle Busch fan, but I had to say it or mouth it. David says Corey Heim. We're really going out there with our Monday picks to start out the year. You guys have not changed a bit in the offseason. I love it. Byron, 3 in a row, says John. That would be a historic feat. Historic. I don't even know how many people have done that, and that would just be hell of a way to start the year. I'm not going to lie. I really don't have a pick yet. And all of our picks could change by next week. I mean, we have a week and a half to decide on this thing. Jamie says Ryan Blaney. That's a solid pick. He's probably our best super speedway racer. I think last year I picked Chase Elliott. 2024 I picked Kyle Busch to get redemption. 2023 I picked Logano, I think. So the last 2 we've had a normal winner, then we had a non-normal, and then we had a normal team with Penske and Cindric in 22. 2021 was a non-normal, then we had 2 normals with Hamlin back-to-back. 2018 are random, so we're kind of on this pattern. It's like we'll have a couple non-randoms. Then we'll have a random, couple non-randoms, random. So I think we're going to get a random one this year. The question is, who is the random? I'm waiting for a name to jump out and just... Born Again Briar picking Cody Ware for the second year in a row. Remember, Cody Ware led 23 laps in the fall Daytona race last year. My random Daytona 500 pick is going to be first Monday pick of the year, Eric Jones. Eric Jones for the Daytona 500. That's going to be the pick. All right. Eric Jones is my first Monday pick of the year to win the Daytona 500. We had some random ones here. We had Byron winning 3 in a row. We had a Blaney, but then we also had Cody Ware, Corey Heim, Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece, Casey Mears, AJ Allmendinger. Martin says it's got to be one of the RFK drivers to do it for Biff. Micah says if Kyle Busch never wins the 500, I'll still be satisfied because of the amazing career he's had, but I still want him to win the 500. It's been 10 years since Kurt won, so maybe that's a sign. It has not quite been 10 years. 9 years. He won it in 2017. We're getting close to 10, though. The Chevy does have a new nose. Yep. I will make sure to put that in my notes tomorrow when we talk about the season, or the videos on Sunday. The season previews on Sunday, but I will be doing the notes on it tomorrow because I need a lot of time to figure that out because thinking is hard. Anyways, go vote. Everyone, go vote on the new Fantasy League channel. Fantasy League name. Everyone go vote on that. It's the most recent post. This will be the last time I say it. Thanks for being here. Duke Chronic, what's up? Welcome. Hi. I guess at some point it'll all be out there at some point with Chevy. We'll figure it out. I'm not picking championships yet. Don't worry. That'll be Sunday. But no, I'm satisfied with my Eric Jones Daytona 500 pick. We'll see. I don't feel like blazingly confident on it, but you know, super speedways are random. Hey, you never know. Thanks for being here. I will clip the SVG recap and I will upload that here in 30 minutes or so. Tomorrow I have 2 clips from this live stream I want to put up. One is going to be asking for your random predictions or your bold predictions for 2026. The other one will be the Avatar side tangent because I just really want to get it out there that I was mind blown that Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter was a blue person in Avatar. So, and anything else that I feel like clipping. That's going to be the story of this year. We're going to be doing a lot more clips from the Monday after and putting them out between races and stuff because that seems fun. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Sunday. I'll see you Sunday for the season preview.